Thank you for joining another episode of the Securing Tomorrow podcast with IBM Consulting. Today I am joined by Amit. Amit, would you like to say hi and introduce yourself and your role?
Thank you, Dan. Hello. Thank you for inviting me into this podcast. This is Amit Agarwal. I'm the Global CTO for Identity and Access Management offering pillar in IBM. The core mission is to help our customers secure their identity states, whether it's customer IAM, workforce IAM, privileged access management, or agentic identity.
Perfect. So as the CTO for IBM's Identity and Access Management practice, what are the key market themes and challenges that are currently top of mind for your customers?
The identity market has seen a shift, right? Today, our customers are no longer dealing only with human identities, right? In fact, the ratio of human identities to non-human identities is 1 to double digits, right? And when we talk about non-human identities, it's your machine identities. Every cloud resource has an identity. It's your API keys, your service accounts. And now with AI and AI agents, we are looking into another dimension of securing identities for those AI agents. All of this is making identity not just a back office function rather than a control plane.
Right.
It's coming up as a security control plane for enterprise transformation and digital transformation. And IAM has a unique trait, right? And it's all within those 3 letters. I am. So it's me. It's me as a persona. And I can have multiple personas. I can be an admin user, I can be a business user, I can be a developer, I can be a CISO, I can be an exec, I can be a normal customer who is going to log into your website to buy something. IAM needs to cater for all of these different persona needs and make sure the user experience is properly balanced with the security controls and compliance.
Thanks, Amit. So identity as the security control plane for an enterprise.
Yes. That's the new shift which we are looking at in this. And in IBM, we don't see IAM as a technology enabler, right? It's more of a business enabler. We see this as a platform that covers workforce identity, privileged access management, consumer identity, and AI identity. We also have an AI agent that we have brought in as a differentiator in this space. We call it Ask IAM. In fact, if you Google it, the first thing which will come back is Ask IBM about Ask IAM. That was the quote which we received, right?
Well, that tees me up to ask, what is Ask IAM?
Right. So Ask IAM is an innovation in this agentic AI space where we thought, let's use AI to solve identity problems for our customers, right? And it can automate the entire JML process. So when a new employee joins in, you could say, okay, Amit is joining my team and he'll be a business development officer, right? So sort him out the access. Our agent will understand what sort of roles and entitlements a user needs. It'll do that. It can help you during your recertifications. It can provide you intelligent access decisions. It can also automate IAM tickets, right? So we use it in the IAM ops part. And very recently, we just launched AI-enabled ITDR in this space.
Very good, Amit. So we understand that IBM Consulting has extensive expertise in the IAM space. To make it real, could you give us kind of a use case you'd like to share?
Of course, Dan. So we recently enabled a network security provider in US. They had a unique problem. They wanted to bring human and non-human identities under the same platform. And we thought, what could be the best solution than Palo Alto, who is leading in the platformization space? So we enabled CyberArk's Privileged Access Manager and Conjure. By using that, we were able to secure 50,000 plus privileged identities, human privileged identities, with 25,000 plus isolated sessions, and it's producing about 1,000 plus session recordings a day. Even in the Vault solution, we help them manage all those API keys and credentials, which enable them to call 40 million plus API calls a month, right? So that's the scale which we have been dealing with. Yes,
exactly. Now you mentioned CyberArk there, and obviously Palo Alto Networks has now closed the acquisition of CyberArk. As a strategic and important partner of Palo Alto Networks, How do you view that acquisition, and what do you see as the potential benefits for your customers?
So I've always been a fan of Palo Alto because of the platformization story. In fact, Palo Alto was the first one who brought this into the market. I mean, it was Nikesh who coined the term platformization. And Palo Alto always had a very strong play where you brought in cloud security, application security, and XIM together in the same platform, sharing signals and giving that unified view. What was missing for me was the identity play. And because of this proliferation of non-human identities and agentic identities into the space, where identity is now coming up with another dimension in that, this collaboration or this merger seals the entire story together. So now you have identity, network, cloud, and XIM all working together under the same common platform. A very powerful combination in the market.
Fantastic. And can you describe IBM Consulting's capabilities around CyberArk? How do you present that to the market?
IBM Consulting IAM services, we have been into this business for about 30 years or so. We have 500 plus IAM specialists all over the world who have been working on this. We have 1,000 plus customers in this space. All of our engineers are cross-trained within the domains and all. We do have a regular program where everyone is required to do 40 hours of minimum training, but then they have digital badges and everything, which they can use for the trainings. And if they can do more than that, if they do 80 hours, 100 hours, 200 hours, they get gold badges, silver badges, platinum badges. So that's the expertise we bring in. We provide advisory services. We provide managed services and build and transform services. So we build the full breadth in terms of CyberArk capabilities.
So the whole gamut of services. So if somebody's watching this thinking, I think we have a identity management challenge, or we need to really better understand our risk profile, how would you start? What would you recommend that they do to begin with?
Whenever a customer comes to us with some problems and challenges and they want us to do an assessment for them, our view is no one understands the customer better than the customer themselves, right? So yes, as consultants, as their trusted partners, we empathize with their problem. But even though we have the same problem, your understanding of the problem would be different to what I would feel. So we have our proprietary methodology, which we call IBM Garage, where we do co-ideation and co-creation with our customers. So we bring the stakeholders within the room, right? We run these workshops with them, and it's just not one person. It'll be multiple persons, multiple personas who will come in. We work with them, we understand their problem, we prioritize the problems, and then we come up with a roadmap. That's the initial bit. And then if we want to go detail into that, we can do NIST-based assessment, entitlement reviews, privilege access reviews, etc. Those will be the detailed assessments that we can carry out for our customers.
Well, thanks so much, Ahmed. And if people would like to learn more, get in touch, how should they reach out?
Well, the easiest way, look me up on LinkedIn, send me a message, I'll get back. If you are our customers, reach out to our LCPs and we'll be in touch and we'll talk to them.
Thank you for joining another episode of the Securing Tomorrow podcast. You can find the rest of the series on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Spotify or Apple. And you can also find video versions on YouTube. That's the Palo Alto Network's YouTube channel. Thanks for your interest.